Hello everyone, I'm Denise with Spiritual Growth Tarot, and I am here today on Thursday, August 21st, and I'm going to do a Celtic cross reading that's a little modified with my own meanings for the positions on Don Jr. And I'm doing this because of the 1,000-page report from the Senate Intelligence Committee's Bipartisan Russian report, a report on Russia. And so this is, the volume 5 of the Intel report. And they are investigating Don Jr., Steve Bannon, Eric Prince, Jared Kushner, and Sam Clovis. So those five guys. And again, it's on the 2016, Russian election meddling and Trump campaign involvement. So I want to know how this is going to affect Don Jr. Okay, so the first card is the forces in motion for him. Second card will be the challenges. Third card is what he has control over. The fourth card is what he's done in the past. Next is the situation that's looming over him of which he has no control. Okay, the next card is his near future. What he's attracting. Others' influence over the situation. His distant future. And the outcome. And I've also taken the 2 cards from the bottom to add on to that. Okay, so let's get these laid out here. Ooh, the situation is a big change for him. Actually, let's just center it this way. Okay, his challenges, the King of Swords, that is the justice system. Wow. Okay, what he does have control over, I guess how he handles it on the inside with the King of Swords. I'm sorry, the Hermit here. How he handles it. Interesting. His inner reality, I suppose. Could have to do also with him keeping his mouth shut. Wow. Okay, so what he's actually done in the past, he's done what his dad wanted him to do. How sad. What is hanging over him, of which he has no control, this would be the strength of the judicial system. The Department of Justice, and we have to remember, this is a bipartisan report. This is, it was actually led by the GOP Senate. So, wow. All right, now his near future is an overwhelming amount of pain, just overwhelm, exhaustion. He's not going to handle it well, I don't think. What he's attracting, he's got the Lover's card, so that could be, well, he's attracting the need to make a big decision in his life, that's for sure. Best he can. Now, I'll dive more into it. Let's look at the rest of it. Others' influence, 9 of Swords. His distant future, 7 of Swords. Yikes. His outcome, the 9 of Wands. Wow. Okay, and then the 2 cards on the bottom. Very challenging. Okay, so I'll just leave all this out so you guys can look at it. And as always, I welcome, any other tarot readers out there, or everyone has their own intuition. So there's a lot of symbology with the cards, and so if you have any, comments, please leave them down in the comment section. As long as they're kind to me and the group here. you know, I welcome them. Okay, so with this death card as being the forces in motion, this is a big, big change for him. This is a big ending and a beginning of some type. But because the challenge is the King of Swords, this would be the legal system. And this hanging over him, this goes together, this hanging over him, the strength of the legal system coming down on him. And he's feeling isolated. He's feeling like, oh, what do I do? I'm not so sure what to do. It's a card of withdrawal and loneliness. When it's in the inverted type of energy, which is, if I were to read it in the upright, I would say, and I purposely don't do reversals just because I tend to pick up on the other cards to give me, the meanings. And because we do have the death card as the situation, and this is what he has control over, I would say that he has control over his searching his soul for why he gave himself away to his father like that. Because I believe what comes out, or what has come out, and they, the investigation brought out the email that he had between, what was that guy's name, Emin or somebody, you guys will have to fill me in. I didn't look at the information again. From way back, I just remember there was this big, morbidly obese guy that was a DJ from some other country, but anyway, there were like 6 people that attended a meeting, and there was an email where Don Jr. literally wrote on the email something like, Dad, Putin is offering you a gift. And it had to do with some, this meeting that they all had. Don Jr. was involved, and Jared was involved, and this DJ guy, and then some Russian oligarch, and then that gal, I can't remember her name. It was a really long, difficult name to pronounce, from another country, from Russia. And they tried to play it off. Don Jr. tried to play it off. I think it was Nikki Haley that said that you don't have to worry about it. We'll just say that it was about adoption, trying to adopt Russian children. So they played it off. Literally, what they were doing was gathering. It was an attempt to gather dirt from Russia, from anyone in Russia, on Hillary. So this was all, before the actual election. This was their Oppo research. Not real research when you just get somebody to say anything. And then it led back, I believe, to Julian Assange. So that's Don Jr.'s part in it that we know about, that's out there, and that's the documents that they found, that this intelligence committee found. So that's what's above, or that's what's crossing him, and that's the strength of this. This is very strong evidence, very strong, a document that actually has his writing on it, and it says it's a gift from Putin. So he might do some soul searching, or the only thing he has control over is being quiet, going within, doing some soul searching around, why would I do something like this type of thing. But what he's actually done in the past, of course, has been to, do everything that he can for his father to, because he wants to be Daddy's good little boy, or Daddy's, cohort. Man. So his near future with this Ten of Wands, you can look at this overwhelm, and you can't, if he wants to get through it, and in this situation, he can't just, well, he could, I take that back, he could drop them and put them down and come clean and work a deal, maybe some type of a plea deal. But because of this card down here, and this card here, and this, these other cards, and especially the Lovers here with a deal going on, I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to, carry the weight. and it's taking on too much, but it's also avoiding self-responsibility, which is what we have here. Yeah, it's a big burden. It's tremendous stress. In this situation, because of the situation, I would say he won't achieve what he's going after. He can't, and especially with the outcome here and here. So let's dive into the Lover's card for what he's attracting. Well, he's attracting a deal. And is he gonna get in bed with whoever this is that's offering him the deal? This could be the plea deal. This could be some type of a plea deal. But again, I don't see him taking it. He might, things, that's the thing with tarot reading and any type of psychic readings, remote viewing, anything that anyone does to get the information for us, we always have to, hold in our hearts the truth that the person that we're, asking about has free will. And it's often used, and then that shifts the entire, outcome. So if he makes a decision, this is a really important decision that he's attracting, it's life-changing. And if he, makes a different decision, then that can flip everything else. And so if that happens, I'll do another reading later on. But right now, it looks to me that he's really overwhelmed. He may be very well doing some soul searching around it, because this is such a big change, and the legal ramifications are so strong. And he is guilty of what he's being charged with. Well, or he hasn't been brought in yet, and maybe he can't because of his position. I'm not sure about that. I'm not any type of a legal scholar at all, not in the least. Steve Bannon has been brought in, and or he's been indicted. So, and he's supposed to make a statement this afternoon about it. But I'll do a reading on him after this, or maybe I'll do Jared, because there's the 5 of them that I don't care so much about Sam Clovis, but Don Jr., Jared Kushner, Steve Bannon, and Eric Prince are the 4 that I will do readings on. So, getting back to Don Jr., the influence that others have over him is causing him to go into the dark night of the soul. It's causing him to feel regret and a tremendous amount of shame. It's one of those challenging situations that, you're in it, and it brings tremendous anxiety. You can't sleep at night. You don't know what to do, and he's really caught. He's really trapped here. So this is one of the most negative cards to have. It causes depression even, It's real intense anxiety and despair over a situation. It can leave you feeling hopelessness and just hopeless and tormented. But I would say others' influences are bringing hopelessness to him. Now, his distant future is him getting away with something. So I don't like seeing that, especially for justice to come through. But we also have to, I'm always going to go back to spiritual law here. We always have to remember that even if the justice doesn't come through in this lifetime, it will come through in the next, and the situation will be set up for the incarnation into the next lifetime, to where he may be incarcerated at a young age and feel like it's not fair, but it could be that it's set up from the lifetime before. That can happen, and then other times when people go through those situations, it's an opportunity to stand up for yourself, and to have that self-isolation, to go within. There's that sometimes, and with spiritual law, it is never, ever, ever just like a one-size-fits-all. It goes way beyond the law of cause and effect. It's very specific to the actual situation, and it's, you know, it's very flexible is what I'm trying to say. It's flexible so that it can come inside of what the soul needs to experience in order to grow. So, but for his distant future, you know what it could be is that because Steve Bannon he's got like two felony counts against him. Now, he may get off lighter. Don Jr. may get off lighter because you know, you look at this card as the thief, and he's getting away with something, but he can't carry all 7 of these swords, and so he's not stealing everything. He's not getting away with everything. Something's left behind. So it might be a lighter sentence, but the outcome is that he, with the 9 of Wands, is he's very defended. He's coming from, his outcome leaves him in this place of just feeling beat up. It's a test of faith when you have this card, and you need to be in, your perseverance. But for him, I would say this just has him really defensive and paranoid. I'm hearing paranoid. So the 2 cards on the bottom to give us more information about the outcome card are the 8 of Swords, which is restriction. This is one of the incarceration cards, this and the 4 of Swords. But the 4 of Swords has maybe a little more health connotation to it. This card is a restriction. You're being restricted. And the 2 of Swords is a place where you can't yet make a decision, or you're unwilling to make a decision. It's confusion, it's indecision, it's overwhelm, and it can overload in the mind. It's a stalemate. So I am, at this point, it's looking to me like, unless something changes in the future, or he has, like his free will that decides he's not going to take all this for his dad, and he's going to do some type of a plea bargain. If that's the case, then that can shift these cards here, right? But this I'm going to say stands, because this is, excuse me, the past and then the near future. And this is actually the forces that have been in motion, so that doesn't change. None of this changes. None of these cards change. These can all change based on what he decides to do. So if he decides to speak up and plea bargain, then all this can shift. But the way it stands right now looks to me like he will be incarcerated. Some type of a sentence will come down. The full weight of the Justice Department. Now, because of Bill Barr being there, it's not going to happen right away. I doubt. I believe that Bill Barr will slow things down. But then after the election, in January, it's just, or maybe even after, well, I'm not sure about that. Like, when would the weight really come down on him as far as timing? With the Wands here, I would say quickly. Like possibly even 9 weeks or so. Yeah, it's possible. But we'll have to see, because, free will. Don Jr. has his free will, so we'll see what happens. So, okay, well that's all I have for this guy. I'll be back with one of the others. Take care, you guys. Whoops, sorry. Bye.